With our partners from Monday.com, a team management platform, we reached out to the creators of Tinder Swipe Night to shed light on the workflow it takes to win a Webby.
It's really interesting. I don't think there was like one moment that inspired the project.
We were kind of working with this is the idea that Tinder is basically this sort of like vessel for spontaneity. When we were thinking about that, we were like, oh, it's sort of like one of those old school choose your own adventure things.
It was basically an idea where it's going to be an interactive video where you can make decisions and choices, and that will lead to different Tinder matches.
This could be an experience that actually leads to matches, so it would have this real world consequence beyond just being entertaining.
I think the biggest challenge in this type of work, in this type of space, is always making sure that everyone feels comfortable about why they're working this way, and not just being told to work this way, but having a wider contextual understanding about why this is important in non-linear work.
It was something we had never done before across the board.
The process was new, being a part of Writer's Room was new, so we were just learning and evolving as we went.
Being open-minded is really helpful too, especially in this campaign, because like nobody has done this before. So hearing ideas from everyone.
The biggest takeaway for me, the biggest lesson from all of that was to just really try to stay present and fluid on a project where you don't really know how things are going to turn out because you haven't done it before.
I mean, because there were so many, there were potentially 2,000 different films hidden within this project, depending on the choices you made. As I said before, just making sure that every one of them felt like a good experience meant that you had to kind of mentally traverse them in advance and just work that out.
Decision trees, whiteboards, brainstorms, it just was nonstop. And
starting from the writing phase and not overdoing it. You really have to kind of almost incept the idea that it feels like you're making really wildly different choices, but they could actually potentially lead you back down a common path.
And I think on top of that, we all actually became really close during the period, to a point where we didn't have to schedule official meetings.
I was able to call my clients, Paul and Kyle, on the phone really easily. And
we were all just in constant contact all of the time.
Having direct access to the product team and what they're able to do on the platform informed everything that we could possibly suggest to do with the actual experience itself. And that doesn't happen very often.
I think it was just a lot of communication, a lot of planning, and again, just a lot of whiteboards. It's hard, man. It's hard to be a creative person and not feel like put into a rut right now.
I think it's very easy to write things off because we could just say that we can't do it in the COVID world, but figure out an idea. If it feels great, we'll figure out the best version of that we can make.
I think my advice for creative teams wanting to make great digital work right now is just keep your radars switched on. You need to really think about why people are wanting to give up their valuable time to what it is that you've made.